ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषये भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरि ओम. So you can repeat after me from Evam Pinda Brahmandayoh. Evam Pinda Brahmandayoh Aikyam Sambhutam.
एवं पिंडांड ब्रह्मयोः ऐक्यं संभूतम्
स्थूल शरीर अभिमानी जीवनामकं ब्रह्म प्रतिबिंबं भवति।
स्थूल शरीराभिमानी जीवनामकं ब्रह्म प्रतिबिंबं भवति।
स एव जीवः प्रकृत्या स्वस्मात् ईश्वरं भिन्नत्वेन जानाति।
स एव जीवः प्रकृत्या स्वस्मादीश्वरं भिन्नत्वेन जानाति।
अविद्या उपाधि सन् आत्मा जीवः इति उच्यते।
अविद्या उपाधिः सन्नात्मा जीव इत्युच्यते।
माया उपाधि सन् आत्मा ईश्वरः इति उच्यते।
माया उपाधिः सन् आत्मा ईश्वर इत्युच्यते।
एवं उपाधिभेदात् जीवेश्वर भेद सृष्टिः भेद दृष्टिः यावत्पर्यन्तं तिष्ठति तावत्पर्यन्तं जन्म मरणादि रूप संसारः न निवर्तते।
एवं उपाधिभेदा जीवेश्वर भेद दृष्टिर्यावत्पर्यन्तं तिष्ठति तावत्पर्यन्तं जन्म मरणादि रूप संसारो न निवर्तते।
तस्मात् कारणात् न जीवेश्वरयोः भेद बुद्धिः स्वीकार्या।
तस्मात् कारणात् न जीवेश्वरयोः भेद बुद्धिः स्वीकार्या।
ननु
We lost you. Didn't hear.
ननु
Nanu
I just said that. साहंकारस्य किंचिज्ञस्य जीवस्य
साहंकारस्य किंचिज्ञस्य जीवस्य
Nirahankarasya sarvajnasya ishvarasya
निरहङ्कारस्य सर्वज्ञस्य ईश्वरस्य
tattvamasiti mahavakyat katam abeda buddhihi syat.
तत्त्वमसीति महावाक्यात् कथम् अभेदबुद्धिः स्यात्
Ubayogo viruddha dharma krantatvat iti chet.
उभयोः विरुद्धधर्माक्रान्तत्वादिति चेत्
Na.
न
You can say na.
Yeah, I said na. Yeah. Na.
Stula sukshma sharira abhimani svampadavatsyartaha.
स्थूलसूक्ष्मशरीराभिमानी त्वं पदवाच्यार्थः
Upadhi vinirmuktam samadhi-dasha sampannam shuddham chaitanyam svampadalashyartaha.
उपाधिविनिर्मुक्तं समाधिदशा सम्पन्नं शुद्धचैतन्यं त्वं पदलक्ष्यार्थः.
Okay. Up to this we saw in the previous classes. Nano indicates an objection and the author answer will be na, starting with na. It means he is dismissing the objection. So in the last class or in the class before that, we saw that there was a doubt on the part of the student. This is a samvada, discussion, a dialogue between the student and the teacher. So the student, he raised a doubt. Or he can say student raised the objection as he could not understand and digest the fact that I am Jagat Karanam Brahma. Therefore, he is asking the teacher a doubt or an objection. And we saw it in detail, the objection of the student. And we understand very well that it is a valid objection on the part of the student. And the teacher responds to the objection, explaining the meaning of the words involved in the Mahavakyam Tat Tvam Asi. We saw in detail the objection, Nanu Sahankarasya Kinchit Yasya. So that part I am not taking it up. So now the teacher's answer that we will discuss. And that too, we have discussed certain things in the response of the teacher, but we will further analyze the Mahavakyam. Because this is an important Vakyam, and this Mahavakyam will be there in all the Upanishads, the meaning being the same, only the Vakyams are different. There are so many Mahavakyams, and that is the Tattvabodha of the Vedanta Upanishad. Therefore, we should know what it is. If you understand this Mahavakyam, then all of the Mahavakyams are understood. And when you study Upanishad, there will be an elaborate discussion on this Mahavakyam. So now, the teacher responds to the objection, and he takes up the Mahavakyam Tat Tvam Asi. Only three words making a Vakyam. So first he took up the word Tvam Padam. You know very well that the Sanskrita Shabda for a word is called Padam. Padam means word in Sanskrit. Shabda means noun base. So Tvam is a Padam. And a Padam, it reveals an object and conveys the meaning of the word, that is the object, to the listener. That is what a padam means. The meaning of the word is called padartha. Padasya artha padartha. Padam and padartha, they go together. Object and the meaning. The word and the meaning. Padam and padartha. Word and the meaning. Vagartha viva pratipattam. Vagartha pratipatte. That Kaligana says that Vag and Artha. So, Padam and Padartha. For example, when I say an apple is a word. When I say an apple, the meaning of the word apple, it occurs in your mind. So the object Padartha, apple, referred by the word Padam, apple, it is called Vachyartha. It is called Vachyartha. Vachya is that which is spoken. Padam, Padasya Artha, Vachyartha. That is the meaning of the word. And when I say Tvam, Tvam means you. We know the meaning of the word Tvam. It means you. It is Pratama Vibhakti of Yushmat Shabda. Tvam Yuvam Yuyam. So which means I. Yushmat means you. When I say you means it refers to I with reference to you. So it means I. I means capital I. So the immediate meaning of the word Tvam in Sanskritam, it is called Vachyartha, which means the idea about I, what you have about yourself. That is the meaning of the word Tvam. In general, a padam can refer to an object, as we saw before, or it can refer to a part of the object, avayava of the object. Avayava means parts. For example, when I say my car is damaged, my car is damaged. When I say, so what does it mean? It means not that my whole car is damaged. My whole car need not have damage from tire to roof of the car. No. If the door of the car has got some dent due to some simple friction with the other vehicle, then also I say my car is damaged. Even if the window glass it develops a break, then also I say my car is damaged. So a part of the object also becomes or represents the whole object. If that is so, when I say I, what does it refer to? Does it refer to my head or my legs or my nose or my stomach? What does this word I refer to? The word I, it includes the body with all its parts, including Sukshma Shariram and Karna Shariram. Therefore, I refers to consciousness, Chaitanyam, and the Sharira Trayam in general. That is what the word I refers to in general. It refers to Stula Sukshma Karana Sharira Abhimani, that is the consciousness, the Chaitanyam, identified with Stula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, and Karana Shariram. So that is what the author says. Stula Sukshma Sharira Abhimani Atma Tum Pada Vachyartaha. That is Agankara. Agankara, that is I, it is what is referred by the word Tvam, and that is the Vachyartha, the meaning of the word I. Agankara. When you say Agankara, then all the limitations pertain to the Agankara, pertain to the word Agankara, it all comes in. limitations. What I mean by limitation is limitations in terms of knowledge, limitation in terms of power, limitations in terms of pervasiveness, limitations in terms of lordship, everything, in terms of everything. And that is the Agankara, and that is the I which is used by us in our everyday transactions. When I say I need place to live, I want place to sleep, I want food, I want water, I want to have everything that pleases me. When I say I, and that is the I referred by the word Tvam. That is the Vachyartha. Upadi Sahita Shuddha Chaitanyam. That is the Chaitanyam along with Upadi, Sthula Sharira Upadi and Sukshma Sharira Upadi. That is that Abhimanam which you have on anything is what generally appreciated by you as. And all our transactions we do in the Vyavahara, in the empirical world, it is because of this Abhimanam. And when this Abhimanam, it is not there, then who will say, I am hungry, I am thirsty, I want this, I want that, I am not well, I am sad. So who will say that? That is why a jnani, he never asks for anything. He never identifies himself with this upadhi. I along with its upadhi. That is why jnani is satisfied with himself. He knows he is Shuddha Chaitanya. Therefore, he is happy with everything, what he has got, and happy without also. So no demands on the part of the jnani, because he doesn't have this adhimana. There is no upadhi sahita Shuddha Chaitanya. He gives as much importance as the upadhi requires. His abhimanam is not with the stula sukshma sharira. That is why a jnani is happy with himself, is contented with himself. A jnani may have only as much abhimana as required for maintaining this body. That is all. That's all the abhimana he has got. A jnani knows that he is chaitanyam, he is consciousness alone. And chaitanyam is shuddhaha, purnaha, nityaha. It is nirvikalpaha. It is asangaha, not attached with anything. It is nirvikaraha, doesn't undergo any change. Sarvagataha, all pervasive. And it is muktaha, it is always free. That is why a jnani is free. Jnani is free from all notional bondage, is muktaha. Why? Because Chaitanyam being muktaha, jnani is also muktaha. Whereas, only for an ajnani, the abhimanam with the body is there. And that is why when he is told, Tattvabodha asi, he can't accept. He raises the objection. An ajnani can never refer to himself as Chaitanya, as only Chaitanya. Therefore, when you address an ajnani, Tattvabodha asi, he understands by the word Tvam, that is, by the very word Tvam, what he understands is that because of the Abhimanam, the word Tvam, it gives him the understanding that I with the Stula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira. That is what he understands. I means Aham Stulaha, Stula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira. Whatever he associates with this Shariratrayam and also the Agankara, that is what he understands by the word Tvam. Therefore, in the immediate meaning, this Vachyartha, the English translation for the word Vachyartha is the immediate meaning. That is the meaning which occurs to you immediately when you hear the word Tvam. That is the immediate meaning, Vachyartha. So in the Vachyartha, there is difference between Tvam and Tat. Mahavakya, it equates Tvam and Tat. And in the Vachyartha, when Tvam and Tat, Tvam and Tat, when he hears the equation, when Tvam and Tat are equated, an Ajnani cannot accept because he sees the Veda. For him, there is big difference. Veda is between Tvam and Tat. Therefore, he raises an objection. He cannot accept the fact that Tat Tvam Asi. And that has to be clarified. And that is what the author is going to do. Because an Ajnani, he understands by the very word Tvam, what he understands is this body mind sense complex. That is what his understanding is. So his Abhimana with his Stula Shariram is so intense, he cannot think of anything other than that. So when I say I am 5 feet 3 inches, I am 43 years, I am male, I am single, every word, every sentence, if you see, as the word I. The I has got so many adjectives. The I is qualified by so many things. I am tall, I am short, I am fair, I am black, I am blind. So all these are adjectives to the word I. And these are only from the standpoint of the Stula Shariram. Similarly with the Sukshma Shariram also. Or we can also look at I from the another standpoint. The I has got so many things put together. The word I, it has got so many things put together, like an assemblage of a car. A car has 1,500 parts, starting from engine, wheel, carburetor, the gear system, steering system, dashboard, everything, and other various controls, even down to the smallest nut and bolts. So, a single piece of nut and bolt cannot make a car. So many things put together make a car. Therefore, a car is put together. You cannot spread all the parts of the car on the floor and say this is a car. When they are put together intelligently, then it makes a car. And where is a car? Does a car really exist? Because we use a word car, it exists as though. That is why it is called Mithya. Similarly, when I say I, what is this I? When you identify I with Stula, Sukshma, Karna, Sharira, let us first say Stula Shariram. So, our Stula Shariram, it has so many parts, both internal and external. Eyes, nose, lung, liver, heart, hands, legs, so many parts are there. If everything is spread on the floor, can it be me? Can it be myself? Any part can be myself. A lung is not me. A liver is not me. A nose is not me. But everything put together is myself. It becomes me. So everything put together means not put in a zigzag way. Like you can put everything in a box and close it. No, it cannot make me. All the parts have to be put together intelligently, and that is what makes me. So, what does this I mean then? And how far the meaning of the word I can, we have to analyze. Then we understand the meaning of the word I. When I say I am in India, the word I refers to the presence of my physical body in a particular location. And when I say I am hungry, the word I refers to prana, because prana is a anga, it's a part. I am angry. I am angry when I say it refers to my mind. Mind is also a anga, an avayava. Similarly, when I say I built this building, I cooked today's food. When I say here I refers to the Vijnanamaya. It is another part. Therefore, from the standpoint of Kosha, or the parts of the gross or the subtle body, this I is intelligently put together. And the sense of I, it is scattered all over the Stula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, all over. Sometimes this I is on the body, sometimes on the mind, and sometimes on the senses. That is why we have body consciousness, hunger consciousness, thirst consciousness, do your consciousness, enjoy your consciousness. So I am conscious of so many things. I am conscious of so many things, and they are all recognized by me, in the presence of which, that is the consciousness, I am, that is there. I am conscious. In the presence of consciousness only, I am conscious of so many things. Therefore, the meaning of I, it penetrates as though into me, and it stops and resolves in that which is Shuddha Chaitanya. Everything comes to light, everything comes to being in the presence of that Chaitanya. Everything is illumined, Prakasha, by that Chaitanya. Everything is an object of recognition for that Chaitanya. In the presence of that Chaitanya only, everything else is recognized. That Chaitanya, without being a subject, it illuminates every object. And every object consciousness is because of that Chaitanya alone. And that consciousness, the Chaitanya, can be well appreciated as it is present in and through every object consciousness. Whether it is sound consciousness or touch consciousness or form consciousness or smell consciousness or taste consciousness, sound, touch, form, smell, taste, and all this being the object of consciousness is I am that consciousness. And that is the meaning of the word you. And that is the lakshyartha. That is the lakshyartha, the implied meaning of the word I. The immediate meaning of the word I refers to what we generally understand by the word I, and when we further analyze the meaning of the word I, finally it penetrates as though and what we understand is it is that consciousness, Chaitanya, Shuddha Chaitanya, that is what referred by the word I. That is the lakshyartha. Therefore, Tvam refers to I in you. That is, Tvam refers to the I, the consciousness. Since it manifests in you, therefore I said in you. It is you. That Tvam is Shuddha. It is pure. Why? Because it is free from any upadis. In all your perception of objects, in all object consciousness, the objects may vary, but the Tvam never varies. The I never varies. Upadis are subject to variation, but Tvam is invariable. And Upadis are mithya. Upadis being mithya, they are many and variable. Every object which you come across in the world, including your body, mind, senses, they are upadis. Even the thought of your mind is also an upadi. When you see a flower, you are conscious of the flower. There is a flower consciousness. Flower is the upadi for the consciousness to become flower consciousness. Flower is not an attribute of consciousness. Flower is not the inherent attribute of consciousness. What will happen? Suppose if flower is an attribute of consciousness, if it happens, then in every consciousness there must be flower. Suppose if you see a pot, then there will be pot plus flower consciousness. And suddenly if you see a cloth, then there will be cloth plus flower consciousness. So every consciousness there will be flower consciousness. But it is not. Therefore, object cannot become the subject. Subject remains what it is, and object keeps changing. Therefore, yes, when you see a flower, flower consciousness, and when you see a pot, the flower consciousness is replaced by a pot consciousness, and when you see a cloth, that pot consciousness is changed by the cloth consciousness. So, when this flower consciousness is replaced by pot consciousness, what happens? The flower consciousness goes and pot consciousness comes. Therefore, whether it is flower or pot or cloth, they are not the attribute of consciousness. Therefore, the object of consciousness, they vary. They are variable. They are always variable. Whereas consciousness is always invariable. All the variables are upadhis, and that which is invariable in all cognition, it is consciousness. The redness of the crystal, it is due to the upadhi, red flower, which is kept closer to the crystal. When you keep a blue lily near the crystal will appear blue. The crystal which was previously red, the crystal was red before, and now it has become blue. Can the crystal say, I am red, I am blue? No. The crystal was looking red when red flower was placed near the crystal, and red flower was removed and blue flower was placed. So can the crystal say before, I was red, now I have become blue? No, the crystal cannot say, because the crystal is not affected by the upadhi being the flowers, red flower or the blue lily. Similarly, Chaitanya Atma is free from upadhi. Upadhi Vinirmukta Chaitanya, Shuddha Chaitanya. That is why Chaitanya is Sada Shuddha, pure consciousness. We use the word pure consciousness. That is, it is without upadhi. That is the meaning of the word Tvam Pada Lakshyartha. Lakshyartha means implied meaning. Vachyartha means immediate meaning. Immediately what you understand is Vachyartha. And you have to analyze a word form and come to the conclusion what it means. You have to take the implied meaning, that is the Lakshyartha. This is called the Pada Vichara. You have to take every padam and do the analysis. In that sentence, there was another phrase, Samadhi Dasha Sampannam. This part also we discussed. What does Samadhi mean? Samadhi means absorption. Samadhi means absorption. There are a lot of confusions about this Samadhi. Here, Samadhi means in general absorption. Dasha means state. So Samadhi Dasha, the state of absorption. So in Samadhi Dasha, the state of absorption, there is no notion of kinchit nyato, that is a limited knowledge. When you are totally absorbed in the object of meditation, there is no notion of limited knowledge. There is no notion of limited knowledge. Nanu sahankarasya kinchit yasya. Kinchit yaha. That is, I am kinchit yaha. I am of limited knowledge. That is not there when you are totally absorbed in the object of meditation. Why? Because the subject and the object becomes one. Or in other words, you can say the experience of the divisionless state of subject and the object. In that state, the person doesn't have the sense of upadhi. Even when there is division, at the time of absorption, there is no sense of upadhi. Therefore, whether the samadhi, whether the absorption is savikalpa samadhi or nivikalpa samadhi, the presence of upadhi is not recognized in that state. Upadhi is not appreciated. And therefore, no notion of kinchit yatvam or limited knowledge is there. Therefore, the author says, upadhi nirmuktam samadhi dasha sampannam. Even in that state also, I am only Shuddha Chaitanyam. Why it is Shuddha? Because it is free from Upadhi. Upadhis are variable and Chaitanya is always invariable. And therefore, Chaitanya Atma, which is free from upadhis, it is Shuddha. So now we have to remove the upadhi. How do you remove the upadhi? You have to remove upadhi to recognize that you are Shuddha Chaitanya. Understand? You cannot remove the upadhi. The removal of upadhi is only in terms of understanding. That is why we say jnanam removes ignorance about myself. Only jnanam, knowledge only removes ajnanam. With or without upadhi, Chaitanya is always Shuddha only. It is pure. There is no Ashuddha Chaitanya. Shuddha Chaitanya, it is an expression only with reference to upadhi. Without upadhi, we say Chaitanya is pure Shuddha. So it is only understanding that Atma Chaitanyam is without the upadhi. Only with reference to upadhi. We say it is Shuddha. So therefore, you don't have to release Chaitanyam from upadhi. You don't have to. And it is not possible also. Everything being Chaitanyam, Atma, Anatma, Upadhi also is Atma only. Therefore, how can you separate or how can you release Chaitanya Atma from Upadhi? If at all Atma is to be separated, it is to be separated only in terms of understanding. It is like understanding a clear crystal as a clear crystal. That's all. If at all you happen to observe the color of the crystal to be red or blue, you have to understand the color of the crystal is because of the upadhi which is placed near the crystal. Red flower is the upadhi. The color is because of that which is present near the crystal. That is upadhi. The red color of the crystal cannot be removed, and you need not remove because you know the crystal is colorless. So what you have to do is you have to remove the color of the crystal only from your mind. You have to understand the crystal to be colorless cognitively, and that is called crystal clear understanding. Therefore, when you have cognitive understanding, then you don't have to make any conscious attempt to remove the color of the crystal to understand the colorlessness of the crystal. Similarly, Chaitanya is also Shuddha only. And because of the Upadhi, because of the Abhimana of the Upadhi, the Shuddha Chaitanyam, it becomes as though the Karta, as though the Bhokta, as though the Sukhi, Dukhi, and all these things. Does it really become Karta, Bhokta, Sukhi, Dukhi? Suppose if it happens, then Atma cannot be Satyam. Atma cannot be Nityam. Chaitanyam becomes Karta, Bhokta, Sukhi, Dukhi, as though. The word for as though is in Sanskritam, it is Iva. As though means Iva. So it is an important word, Vedanta. The Vedanta cannot be understood without Iva. So Chaitanya Atma becomes Karta Iva. Chaitanya Atma becomes Bhokta Iva. So Chaitanya Atma Karta Iva Bhavati Bhokta. Okay, now we have got two meanings for the word Tvam. One is Vachya, that is the immediate meaning, and the other one is Lakshya, the implied meaning. Now, in the Mahavakyam, the meaning of the word Tvam does it refer to Vachyartha or Lakshyartha? We have analyzed the word Tvam both both with reference to Vachya as well as Lakshya. So now, what does it refer to? Does it refer to Vachyartha or Lakshyartha? When you say Tattvabodha, it can refer only to Lakshyartha. It cannot refer to Vachyartha. You cannot take the immediate literal meaning of the word Tvam. Therefore, it refers to only the Lakshyartha. Clay is the cause. Birth is the cause, the Karanam. Pot, Gata is the product, Karyam. So when Gata is told, you are that, Tattvabodha asi, then Gata got confused. What Gata has to do to drop its upadhi, to understand that it is nothing but clay. The pot and clay, are they identical or different? To everyone, the difference is so obvious. Pot and clay, how can they be identical? Both are different in many things. But pot is identical with clay in terms of being clay, the very big material out of which the pot is made. So, from the standpoint of clay, both the pot and the clay are one and the same. They are different from certain standpoints in terms of shape and in terms of form. But the pot is ignorant. The pot is ignorant, and therefore the ignorant pot considers itself as limited with that name and form, and therefore it feels so sad and limited, being identified with smallness. Whereas the clay is enlightened. Therefore, the clay can teach the pot, I am clay, you are also made of me only, the clay. Therefore, you are nothing but clay as myself. The essential nature of you is nothing but me, the clay. As pot, you are limited, but as clay, you pervade everything, including me. Therefore, pot is Nitya and clay is Satyam. Therefore, you can enjoy being clay, pervading all that which is made of clay. You can enjoy being a pot, and that is the teaching, and that is the meaning of the word Tvam. So, Tvam refers to that Shuddha Chaitanyam only. So this is the Tvam Vichara which the author did. Sthula Sukshma Sharir Abhimani Atma Tvam Vachyartaha. The author said that Tvam Vachyata he said, and after that they also talked about the Tvam Lakshyartha. Both he said, Sthula Sukshma Sharira Abhimani Tumpada Vachyataha Upadi Vinir Muktam Samayidasha Sampannam Shuddham Chaitanyam Tumpada Lakshyataha. So both the Vachyartha, the Lakshyartha, the author has told. And we analyzed in detail the meaning of the word Tvam. We have understood the meaning of the word in both ways, Vachya as well as Lakshya, and therefore the Mahavakya Tvam refers to Lakshyartha only, not the Vachyartha. Okay. Now, after the Tvam analysis of the Mahavakya, Tattvabodha asi, what pada we should take for analysis? Tattvabodha. So, after Tvam Vichara, we have to take Tattvabodha of the Mahavakyam and do Vichara. That is what the author is also going to do. So you can repeat after me. Evam sarvajñatvadi visishtah.
एवं सर्वज्ञत्वादि विशिष्टः
ईश्वरः तत्पदवाच्यार्थः उपाधिशून्यम् शुद्धचैतन्यम् तत्पदलक्ष्यार्थः Okay. Now we are going to analyze Tattvabodha. The first one is Tvam Padam, then Tattvabodha. Tvam refers to Vyashti, Tat refers to Samashti. Tvam refers to the Vyashti Jiva, Tat refers to the Samashti Ishvara. Tvam, we have analyzed Vachya and Lakshyarthas. Tattvabodha also we are going to see both the Vachyartha and the Lakshyartha. That is what the author says here. Evam sarvajñatvadi sishtaha ishvaraha tatpada vachyartaha upadi shunyam shuddha chaitanyam Tattvabodha Lakshyartha iti. So, the direct meaning, Vachyartha of the word Tat is that which is endowed with all knowledge, Sarvagyatvam ityadi, Sarvagyatvadi Visishtaha iti. The implied meaning, that is the Lakshyartha of the word Tat is Upadishunyam Shuddha Chaitanyam. Upadishunyam Shuddha Chaitanyam, that is pure consciousness, free from Upadhi. Evam means the same manner. The same manner as we did for Tvampada Vichara, the same way here also. Evam. Sarvajñatvadi Visishtaha. Visishtaha means the one who is qualified by Vishesha. Vishesha means Visheshanam, attribute. The one who is qualified by Visheshanam, attribute. That is, that which is Visheshana, Avachinna, that is distinguished, it is called Visishtaha. That which is distinguished is called Visishtaha. So, Ishvara is one who is qualified by distinguished attributes such as Sarvagyatvam. Sarvagyatvam is all knowledge. Sarva Shaktimatvam, all powerfulness. And Sarva Vyapi, omnipresent. So, etc. All these are Vishesha attributes, Visheshana. All these are Visheshas of Ishvara. So, that is the Tattvabodha Vachyartha. The immediate meaning of the word Tat in the sentence Tattvabodha is these attributes, qualified by such attributes, that is the meaning of the word Tat. Because it refers to Samashti. Samashti, therefore, when you say Samashti, all the limitations will go. There is no Agankara. In fact, Agankara is there. That Agankara includes your Agankara and my Agankara. Every Agankara will include in Ishvara's Agankara. That is what is referred to I. Therefore, since Ishvara is Jagat Karana Brahma, he is all knowledge, he is all powerful and all pervasive. With reference to Upadhi, its own Upadhi, Ishvara's Upadhi. That is what the word Tattva refers. Now you can see the contradiction in the Mahavakyam, Tattvam Asi. Now, naturally you can ask the question, how can I be that Ishvara? Because the Mahavakyam, Tvam is equated to Tat. Tvam is, if you take the Vachyartha, implied, that is the immediate meaning, and Tat refers to Ishvara. Ishvara, which has Vishesha attributes, so you are equating it. Therefore, the question will come, how can I be that? How can I be that Ishvara? You are that Ishvara, you are saying. How can I accept that? In fact, I cannot accept the identity between two small things. I cannot be the another person. But here you are equating me with Ishvara. Ishvara is all knowing, is all knowledge, whereas I am is small knowledge, Alpakyaha, Kinchityaha. So where is the question of identity between the two? Therefore, we cannot take the Vachyartha. It cannot be Vachyartha. In Vachyartha, there is clear difference is there. Vedam is there. But still, the Mahavakyam reveals the identity. It means where and how there must be identity. It must be only in Akshyartha. Therefore, we have to analyze. Upadi Vinirmuktam, that is Upadi Shunyam Shuddha Chaitanyam Tattvabodha Lakshyartha. Upadi for Vyashti Jiva is avidya, ignorance. Because we identify with the Stula, Sukma, all the Karna Sharira, therefore avidya. Avidya is the Upadi. And Upadi for Ishvara is Maya. Upadi for Ishvara is Maya. That is why we saw before Maya Sagita Brahmanaha. From that only the whole the creation came. And Maya doesn't limit the Ishvara as the Avidya limits the Jiva. Maya is very well within the power, it's a power of Ishvara. It is the Ishvara Shakti. Okay. Now, Maya being the Upadhi of Ishvara, when Maya Upadhi is dismissed in terms of understanding, if Maya Upadhi is removed from Ishvara, then what is only the Shuddha Chaitanyam, pure consciousness. And that is the Tattvabodha Lakshyam. That is the Tattvabodha Lakshyartha. When we say Shuddha Chaitanyam, Shuddha Chaitanyam is Sat. It is what the very existence. And it is Ananta. It is limitless. And therefore it is Ananda. So, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. That is the Tattvabodha Lakshyartha. So the meaning of the word Tat in the Mahavakya is Tat Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. That is the Tattvabodha Lakshyartha is the meaning of the word Tat in the Mahavakya. It refers to Brahma. Or it refers to the Ishvara with Upadhi. Both are same. We don't have any problem. Now, the question is, we said Shuddha Chaitanya, Upadhi Shunyam Shuddha Chaitanya. If we say Shuddha Chaitanyam, then how many Shuddha Chaitanyam possible? How many limitless Shuddha Chaitanyam possible? When you say limitless, Anantam Eva Anandam, when you say Anantam, it can be only one limitless. So when we say limitless consciousness being not limited by anything, how many limitless consciousness can there be? It can be only one. Therefore, in that limitless consciousness alone, everything else exists. Everything else, it means it includes time and space also. Because of that limitless consciousness alone, everything exists. All the upadhis exist. All the dividing factors, mithya factors, that also exist because of that limitless consciousness alone. And that limitless consciousness is Shuddhaha, it is Anantaha. It is one undivided whole, that is limitless. And there is no division in that one whole Chaitanya. There can be division between two limited objects. Between you and me, there is a spatial division. And also there is a division in terms of time. It is 5:30 for me, it is 8 p.m. for you. Whereas, and the place where I am located is different from where you are located. My body is limited, it is confined to a place, particular space. Therefore, with reference to you and me, there is a spatial differences there. So all the divisions, whether it is time-wise or space-wise, they are all possible only between limited objects. Whereas Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, it is undivided. And there are no factors available to divide it. There is no second object to divide it. Even space and time also cannot divide Brahma. Why? Space and time, they are also the products of Brahma. Brahma with Maya Upadhi. Tasmat Akashaha Brahma. We saw that Akasha is also Brahma. Why? Because Maya Sagita Brahmanaha Akashaha Sambhutaha. Akashat Vayu Agnihi. Therefore, Akasha is also Brahma. And when you say time is Brahma, space also comes. Space also invariably connected with time, also invariably connected with space. Therefore, space also, the time also, both become Brahma. Therefore, everything is Brahma. Anything which you observe in the Jagat, it is Brahma. Any Namarupa you observe in the Jagat, it is nothing but Brahma. And Brahma is the Nimitta Karanam as well as the Upadana Karanam. It is the Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. Tasmat, therefore, there cannot be anything other than Brahma. And nothing can be away from Brahma also. If that is so, how can there be division in Brahma? So therefore, no division. And therefore, the Lakshyartha of Brahma, that is Ishvara, is Shuddha Chaitanya. That is the one whole limitless Chaitanya. If that is so, I see the difference between Brahma and myself. The difference between myself and Brahma, I can see there's a difference. That is, because the difference is there, that is why the teaching is there, Tattvabodha. So what division and what difference can be there? The difference what we see is due to Upadhi. My Upadhi is Avidya. And Upadhi of Ishvara is Maya. Is this difference real? Does this difference really makes a real difference between me and the Ishvara? From the standpoint of Upadhi, there is difference. We accept from the standpoint of Upadhi, there is difference. My body is limited, whereas Ishvara's body is not limited. My knowledge is limited, whereas Ishvara's knowledge is unlimited. From the standpoint of Upadhi, we accept the difference, and it has empirical reality. And Upadhi being Mithya, there is no difference from the standpoint of the absolute. Paramarthika Drishtya, Jiveshvara Yogo, no difference, Abhedaha. Therefore, when you say Tat Tvam Asi, what does it convey? Does it convey the difference between the Ishvara and me, or does it convey the Abheda between me and the Ishvara? Between Ishvara and me, the Jiva, Upadhi Bheda, that Upadhi, the Bheda due to Upadhi, it is there. But Upadhi being Mithya, the difference is also Mithya. Upadhi doesn't exist apart from Brahma. Upadhi, it doesn't exist separate from Brahma. And therefore, Upadhi is also Ishvara only, and it is Mithya. Mithya being what it is, and Upadhi being Mithya. So you can dismiss the Upadhi and arrive at the identity, Abheda, between Ishvara and Jiva. And Ishvaratvam, the status of being Ishvara, which is caused by the Nitya Upadhi, that is Maya Upadhi, that is not independent of Brahma. And therefore it is Nitya only. So when we dismiss the Upadhi as Nitya, and what do you arrive at? We arrive at the Aikyam, the oneness between Jiva and Ishvara. And the Aikyam, that is a Satyam, that is a truth. Ishvara's Maya is Nitya. And therefore, is Sarvagyatvam or Shakti, Sarvashaktimatvam, it is also Nitya. And Avidya of Ishvara, that is also Nitya. And therefore, Alpagyatvam or Alpa Shaktimatvam of Jiva, that is also Nitya. So you can dismiss the Mithya Upadhi as it doesn't have independent reality apart from Chaitanyam. All that is there is only one Shuddha Chaitanyam. And therefore, from the standpoint of Chaitanyam, the Mahavakyam stands good. It conveys the meaning. It conveys what it intends to. Both Upadhi of Ishvara and Jiva we dismiss from the standpoint of the absolute, but from the standpoint of the empirical reality, we accept the difference. So, when they say it is empirically stands good, it means it is not the reality. It means the empirical world is really speaking, it is a fun, because it is only a mithya. The mithya difference only makes you and makes me practical. That's it, nothing more. Without that, without mithya upadhi, there won't be any transaction possible. So if you want to have transaction, then mithya upadhi should be there. Therefore, we can enjoy the mithya upadhi. It is a sport. That is a leela of Ishvara. So you can see how beautiful the creation of Ishvara is. When you understand it as a upadhi, then every transaction in the world you will enjoy. So you will appreciate once you know the truth. Therefore, understand the samsaritvam, really speaking, it is what the samsaritvam, it is not the innate nature of you. Even the samsaritvam doesn't exist in the upadhi. What I mean by samsari is all the sense of limitations which you attribute to yourself, that even that samsaritvam, it doesn't exist in the upadhi. In the pot, in the kata itself, there is no samsaritvam. The pot which says, I am a pot, in that there is samsaritvam due to avidya. And the fact is, I am clay, not a pot. I am clay in the form of a small pot. I am water in the form of a wave. I am water in the form of the ocean. There is no samsaritvam, but still wave is there. Ocean is there. That there is a practical difference, that empirical reality is there. Therefore, understanding of this non-difference, this abheda, this advaita jnanam, it releases the person from the sense of limitation, bondage. Therefore, there is no contradiction in the understanding the Mahavakyam, Tat Tvam Asi, if you understand the Vakyam by taking the implied meaning of the Padam, Tat and Tvam. When Tat and Tvam are equated, it is equated in terms of Lakshyartha. And therefore, here, an attempt is made by the Shastram and the Guru to teach the person and remove his ignorance, so that one will understand that I am not a samsari jiva, I am Santyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, which is everything. If that is so, who am I? I am Aham Jagat Karanam Brahma. Aham Brahma Asmi. Tattva Tvam Asi, when the teacher says, the student has to say, Aham Brahma Asmi. He should not say Tattva Tvam Asi, because Tattva Tvam Asi is a teaching which is given by the teacher. And teacher, he explains he does the vichara, pada vichara, tat pada vichara, tum pada vichara, and he says tat tum asi, and the student understands and he should say agam brahma asmi. Therefore, the question which was raised by the student about the differences, that virodha, the different attributes between tvam padam and tat padam, it is all answered here by saying that all the gunas, opposite attributes, they belong to upadhi, and upadhi means it doesn't belong to the tat and tvam, which are shuddha chaitanyam, and upadhi means nitya. So what you arrive at, you are equating equating the tat padam and tvam padam only in terms of shuddha chaitanyam. So, and therefore, dismissing the upadhi, so my swarupam is Shuddha Chaitanyam. That is what the teach or the author finally, after doing the vichara, he conveys. Then the author further says, we can repeat after me, Evam cha Jiveshvarayoho Chaitanya Rupena Bede Bhadaka Bhavaha
Badaka bhavah.
So after analyzing the Tat and Pampada, then the author says, Evam cha, thus, with reference to Jiva and Ishvara, Jiva Ishvara Yogo, Chaitanya Rupena Abede, Badaka Bhavaha. There are no arguments negating the oneness in terms of the Swarupa, the essential nature, Chaitanya Rupena, in terms of Chaitanya, Badaka Bhavaha, Badaka Abhavaha. That is, Badaka is negation, Abhavaha is absence. So, absence of negation. Absence of negation. So, it's a double negative is there. Badaka Abhavaha Abeda. So, you cannot negate the absence, Badaka, you cannot negate the difference. You cannot negate the non-difference between the Jiva and Ishvara in terms of their essential nature. That is what the author says. That is, the non-difference cannot be negated between Jiva and Ishvara in terms of their essential nature, that being Chaitanya. So we will take up this word for our discussion in the next class. So we will stop here. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. If you have any doubts, you can ask.